Well, we're back in the game with a live video. Didn't I actually? Here's one for you. Well, where are we? So, 2 days last week. I've been doing live videos every day, Monday to Friday, right? So 2 days last week I didn't do live videos, and the reason I didn't do live videos was because I was tired. So I was rushing around a little bit, and I was very tired. So, there's a lesson for all of us there. If you're tired, have a rest. Yeah. So yeah, I was a little bit tired, so I didn't do them. But a lot of cool stuff I've been reading about recently, which is quite good. So I'm going to share with you today and discuss with you. The first thing is an interesting one, really, about taking responsibility, which I've talked about before. And it was an article I read about a lady who was forced to resign from the police force because she failed the bleep test. Now, if you don't know what the bleep test is, just go onto YouTube and type in bleep test and you'll see what it is. It's basically a fitness test. Now, by the looks of it, this was something that she had to do in order to maintain her sort of credibility for her job, which I think is kind of expected, you know, from my limited knowledge. And when you saw a picture of this woman, she was clearly overweight. I mean, clearly overweight. And she failed the bleep test and was forced to resign. And basically, she was then going to sue the police force for discrimination, okay? Because she said that other people had failed the test and all this other stuff. And then she went on to say that her weight gain was due to her depression and thyroid problems. So this is a bit of an interesting one for me, because what's happening now, and this goes back to this point I made about that programme about the NHS being prejudiced towards overweight people, is that being obese and overweight is kind of now being seen as some kind of affliction, like it's been given to people, like they can't do anything about it. And it's okay to blame circumstances, thyroid problems and issues for that condition. Now, we shouldn't wish ill of anybody, and, if anyone's got a medical condition, that's not the point, because help is available. But the point is, as I have been overweight, 5 stone overweight, it was a choice. Being overweight was my choice by the actions I engaged in. Now, whilst I didn't necessarily want the result, the stuff I was doing was resulting in me getting to that end goal outcome. So whilst I didn't want to be fat, I was choosing to do the things that kept me fat. So in this particular case, it's very hard to play the victim card when it's something that you can get help with. Yeah, you can get help with your weight. Yeah, you can get help. You can get help with all these things. And if you just put your hand up and say, help me, it's the most humbling thing to do. But then failing a clearly defined fitness test because you're out of shape and then saying, oh, I was discriminated against, well, that's part of the victim chic that we've got now in society. See, if you give people too much sympathy, they never fix the problem because they feel like it's an affliction. Yeah? They don't feel like they can take responsibility for it. Okay? Now, this isn't about criticising people and shouting at people and making people feel bad. This is about helping people to take responsibility for their actions and their lives. Because like I said about the NHS programme that was on a few weeks ago, some of those people could afford help. Some of those people could pay for coaching, could pay for Slimming World, Weight Watchers, anything. They could get help, but they're choosing not to get help. Yeah? They're choosing not to get help, instead expecting somebody else to come along and bail them out. Now, I know people like myself who've lost 5, 6, 7 stone and kept it off. Why can one group of people have this, have to do it this way, and then another group of people get a free pass? Why is that? Why is that okay? And it's not about criticising them personally. It's not about attacking anybody personally. Not about attacking the person, but the behaviour is a choice. If you are overweight, it is a choice that you are making. Yeah, to engage in the behaviours that are contributing to that outcome. And if you want to change that, you put your hand up and ask for help. Yeah? Put your hand up and say, I need help. Can you help me, please? Yeah? If you're not willing to do that and put your hand up and say, can somebody help me? And that can be anybody. That can be Slimming World, Weight Watchers, Lighter Life, me, fitness class, walk around the block, friend. It can be anybody. But if you're not willing to put your hand up and ask for help, then complain about the results which you've contributed to, we have a problem. You can't just say, I want to get fat and eat what I want, but then blame this condition, that condition, but I still want to keep a job that I've got to stay fit for. Because don't work like that, because why should somebody else stay fit, yeah, and another person not stay fit but expect the same result? And that's the point. We're not dealing with a disease here. We're dealing with a lifestyle choice. And yes, society nowadays is not set up as well as it used to be. So, you know, it's easier to get fat. It's easier to be sedentary. It's easier to make poor choices. We have to accept that. It's easier to do, but it's not impossible. So if we take the responsibility off the individuals, what chance have we got? What chance have we got? Yeah? And on that note, it's like that thing I put up the other day in the tube. People complain, you know, people saying that outline genuine health concerns, obesity is the second most preventable cause of cancer, is body shaming. It's a fact. It's pointing out a genuine health concern, and people were saying it's body shaming. People were up in arms. It's violent. It's not. Body shaming is attacking somebody personally for their choices, which you shouldn't do. But pointing out genuine health concerns, saying to somebody, look, you've got to do a fitness test and you failed it because you're overweight, it's just a fact. You can't expect a free pass. Yeah, you can't just turn around and go, oh no, but here's my excuse, my story. I've genuinely had people say to me over the years that they didn't want to get their hands wet on the grass, outdoor training, but they want to complain about being fat. They want to stay up all night looking at a screen. Or, you know, do you know what I mean? It's these problems that we've got that people aren't taking responsibility for, but they want a different outcome. They want a different outcome, and it doesn't work like that. If you want to be successful and lose weight and keep it off, you've got to do the stuff, you have to do the work. But the first thing you need to do is to ask for help. Before it gets to the point when you lose a job, you lose a relationship, you lose your health because you're fat. Before it gets to that point, you've got to put your hand up and say, can somebody help me? That's the first part of taking responsibility. The problem is that requires a lot of humility. Not many people are willing to do that. They'll blame time or money or cost and all these things, which is nonsense because most people piss out £4 worth of coffee a day, pay £100 a month for Sky, and have got nice cars. Yeah, which is fine if that's your choice. But then you can't say, if you're not willing to allocate resources from over here to over here, what chance have you got? Yeah? So the point is, to finish on this point, is how can we have sympathy for somebody that's done something to themselves continuously? They can't expect a free pass, because not everybody gets a free pass. Yeah, because this then, this is the biggest challenge that we get with all of these issues in society, because we don't know where the real problems lie, because we're too busy dealing with, the issues that aren't real. We're dealing with victims rather than actually dealing with the proper issues. So yeah, the key point is, if you want to change, put your hand up, ask for help before it gets to the point when it becomes a problem. And particularly with your weight, let us as a society tackle the real issues, because there are plenty of resources on offer for help. I was in the gym a minute ago, and you could go to the gym and have up to 50 free classes a month and have unlimited access to the gym for £17 a month. Now, we can talk about the reasons why people don't go in the environment and all this, but literally £17 a month to take responsibility for your health. So it can't be a cost thing, and most of these gyms now are open 24 hours, so it can't be a time thing. Do you see what I mean? So I get quite passionate. One of the reasons why is because I've lost 5 stone, and I didn't get a free pass. So why should anybody else get a free pass? You know, hand up. If you're struggling in any area, put your hand up, ask for help, and look at your priorities, yeah? Before it gets to the point when your health is adversely affected, yeah? That's all I got. Have a good day.